Yahudah, Judah, chapter 3. And now I command you, my children, hearken to Judah your father, and keep my sayings, to perform all the ordinances of Yah, and obey the commands of our Elohim, and walk not after your lusts, nor in imaginations of your thoughts and haughtiness of heart, and glory not in the deeds in the strength of your youth, for this also is evil in the eyes of Yah. Since I also glorified that in wars no comely woman's face ever enticed me, and reproved Reuben my brother concerning Bilhah, the wife of my father, the spirits of jealousy and of fornication arrayed themselves against me, until I lie with Methuselah the Canaanite, and Tamar, who was espoused to my sons. For I said to my father-in-law, I will take command with my father, and so will I take thy daughter. And he was unwilling, but he showed me a boundless store of gold in his daughter's behalf, for he was a king. And he adorned her with gold and pearls, and caused her to pour out wine for us at the feast with the beauty of women. And the wine turned aside my eyes, and pleasure blinded my heart. And I became enamored of, and I lied with her, and transgressed the commandments of Yah, and the commandments of my father, and I took her to wife. And Yah rewarded me according to the imaginations of my heart, insomuch as I had no joy in her children. And now, my children, I say unto you, be not drunk with wine, for wine turneth the mind away from truth. The truth inspires the passion of lust, and leadeth the eyes into error. For the spirit of fornication hath wine as a minister, to give pleasure to the mind. For these two also take away the mind of man. For if a man drink wine to drunkenness, it disturbeth the mind with filthy thoughts, leading to fornication, and heateth the body to carnal union. And if occasion of the lust be present, he worketh the sin, and is not ashamed. Such is the inebriated man, my children, for he who is drunken reverence no man. For lo, it made me also to err, so that I was not ashamed of the multitude in the city, and that before the eyes of all I turned aside unto Tamar, and I wrought a great sin, and I uncovered the covering of my son's shame. After I had drank wine, I reverenced not the commandment of Yah, and I took the woman of a Canaanite to wife. For much discretion needeth a man who drinketh wine, my children, and herein is discretion in drinking wine. A man may drink so long as he preserveth modesty. But if he go beyond this limit, the spirit of deceit attacketh his mind, and it maketh the drunken to talk filthily, and to transgress, and not be ashamed, but even to glory in his shame, and to account himself honorable. He that committeth fornication is not aware when he suffers loss, and is not ashamed when put to dishonor. For even though a man be a king and commit fornication, he is stripped of his kingship by becoming the slave of fornication, as I myself also suffered. For I gave my staff, that is, the stay of my tribe, and my girdle, that is, my power, and my diadem, that is, the glory of my kingdom. And indeed I repented of these things. Wine and flesh I eat not until my old age, nor did I behold any joy. The angel of Yah showed me that forever do women bear rule over king and beggar alike. And from the king they take away his glory, and from the valiant man his might, and from the beggar even that little which is the stay of his poverty. Observe therefore, my children, the right limit of wine, for there are in it 4 evil spirits, of lust, of hot desire, of profligacy, and of filthy liquor. If you drink wine in gladness, be ye modest in the fear of Yah. Or if in the gladness the fear of Yah departeth, Then drunkenness ariseth, and shamelessness stealeth in. But ye would live soberly, do not touch wine at all, lest ye sin in words of outrage, and in fightings, and in slanders, and in transgressions of the commandments of Yah, and ye perish before your time. Moreover, wine revealeth the mysteries of Yah and men, even as I also revealed the commandments of Yah and the mysteries of Jacob my father to the Canaanite woman Methuselah, which Yah bade me not to reveal. And wine is the cause both of war and confusion. And now I command you, my children, not to love money, nor to gaze upon the beauty of women, because for the sake of money and beauty I was led astray to Methuselah the Canaanite. For I know that because of these two things shall my race fall into wickedness. For even wise men among my sons shall they mar, and shall cause the kingdom of Judah to be diminished, which Yah gave me because of my obedience to my father. For I never caused grief to Jacob my father, for all the things whatsoever he commanded I did. And Isaac, the father of my father, blessed me to be king of Israel. And Jacob further blessed me in like manner. And I know that from me shall the kingdom be established. And I know what evils ye will do in the last days. Beware therefore, my children, of fornication, and the love of money, and hearken to Judah your father. For these things withdraw us from the law of Yah, and blind the inclination of the soul, and teach arrogance, and suffer not a man to have compassion upon his neighbor. They rob his soul of all goodness, and oppress him in the toils and troubles, and drive away sleep from him, and devour his flesh. And he hindereth the sacrifice of Elohim, and he remembereth not the blessings of Yah. He hearkeneth not to the prophet when he speaketh, and resenteth the words of the godliness. For he is a slave to two contrary passions, and cannot obey Elohim, because they have blinded his soul, and he walketh in the day as in the night. My children, the love of money leadeth to idolatry, because when led astray through money, men name of gods those who are not gods, and causeth him who have it to fall into madness. For the sake of money I lost my children, and had not my repentance and my humiliation and the prayers of my father been accepted, I should have died childless. But Elohim of my fathers had mercy on me, because I did it in ignorance. And the prince of deceit blinded me, and I sinned as a man and as flesh, being corrupted through sins. And I learnt my own wickedness while thinking myself invincible. Know therefore, my children, that two spirits wait upon man, the spirit of truth and the spirit of deceit. And in the midst of this is the spirit of understanding of the mind, to which it belongs, to turn whithersoever it will. And the works of truth and the works of deceit are written upon the hearts of men, and each of them Yah knoweth. And there is no time at which his work of men can be hid, for on the heart itself have they been written down before Yah. And the spirit of truth testifieth all things, and accuseth all. And a sinner is burnt up by his own heart, and cannot raise his face to the judge.